everyone. Welcome back to Women in Manufacturing, our conversations with industry leaders. I'm your host, Miriam Farag, and joining me this episode is Brooke Hanson, Vice President of Operations at Delta Q Technologies. Thank you for joining me today, Brooke.
Thank you for having me.
So before we dive into the topic, why don't you give us a brief background of your expertise?
Sure. So I started in the tech industry about 25 years ago. Young coming in, started just doing customer service at a local distributor, and then just continuously moved up. My background is in procurement. So that's how I came into the operations disciplines. And from there, I ended up taking over supply chain. So I worked with a company for 19 years called Sierra Wireless. I started with them in procurement and then moved up into supply chain. Managing 12 factories worldwide, teams worldwide as well, like located all over the world. And yeah, just had great opportunities. It was a company that was growing. So I was able to grow with it and take on new challenges and opportunities. And then recently I just started with Delta Q. So we're almost at the 1 year mark that I have come on board here with Delta Q, running their operations globally for them as well.
And during that journey, what were some of the barriers you faced? And how did you overcome those?
I would say I came in young. It wasn't an industry that I was expecting to go into. I kind of fell backwards into it, just getting a job, doing customer service at the first company, and then recognizing that it was a field going into procurement that I wanted to do. And so coming in young, I found it was, and not having a lot of the background and education in that industry was a bit of a challenge for me, but something that, obviously I had taken on and done the challenges. I went back to school within my career while I was working. I did night school with SFU, got into more of a business degree. And I would say it was more of that, like just being young and fresh into the industry and looking up for challenges and not really having a clear career path early on to understanding where I wanted to go. To which then I had a mentor, one of my bosses. He took me under his wing and kind of coached me and helped guide me through my career, which was extremely helpful for me, not knowing he was open, challenging me to take new opportunities, to think outside the box, to do things differently, to which I really learned. So.
And what excites you about your future in this industry, or specifically Delta Q?
From an industry and Delta Q standpoint, we're growing. There's, it's a market that is expanding and growing, an opportunity and developing. And so, 2021, we had a great year. The growth for the organization and being part of it is very, very exciting. It's a smaller company. I'm getting involved in the details, getting to help with the decision making of where the company's going. Really looking at expanding and continue the growth and the success of the company, as well as I do have a team here that has kind of started out within the organization, in some cases as I did as well, being young and developing. So the opportunity to get to contribute to the growth of others within the organization and share my knowledge.
And how have you seen the industry change over the course of your career?
Technology has just been continuously developing. I mean, you look at any industry in the tech, you look at Apple and they develop a new iPhone every year, and a lot of products are like that, right? New next generation products coming about, better, more environmentally friendly, those type of activities, more automation with what's happening. It's a very exciting industry to be in, right? For what's coming out next and the deliveries and working with our customers on their applications and seeing what we're part of, which is very exciting.
Do you still find challenges in your role with regard to your work?
Yes, always. I think that's the part that stimulates me. I love to learn and develop myself. If I'm not learning, I think I would have a struggle staying where I am. And that's kind of part of the growth of an organization. Being part of a growing company like Delta Q always provides that next challenge. I can bring with it the experience that I've had. But as the market changes, as technology changes, you have to adapt and learn new things, right? The different impacts that come through, like the tariff impacts, the economic situation across the world, COVID with our recent pandemic has provided challenges. and working. So, there's always something. So it's good. It keeps it exciting.
And what about with regard to being a female working in a traditionally male-dominated field?
I would say having come into the industry young and being female, I probably experienced it more in my earlier years of my career, just establishing myself, learning how to speak up for myself and learning to understand how to ask for things, and really fight for what I wanted. Again, I was lucky to have a mentor early on who was a male, and he took me under his wing. And it was never about me being a female against my male counterparts. I did struggle as I continued to develop and grow, and some of my counterparts ended up reporting to me, and then being male. There was some challenges with that had come through, but the market's changing. There's more and more women in the industry nowadays than there was. Myself coming into Delta Q, we have one of our co-CEOs is female, so we have a very strong leadership here, with a female lead. That I just don't feel it as much as I used to. I have been lucky in the last two roles that I've had, that I didn't feel like I was selected for being a woman, which is where I wouldn't want that. I would want to be selected because I'm the right person for the job, right? And I'm the person that can do it. And so I never felt that way coming into an organization, which is good. I know a lot of companies are out there struggling as they look to bring more women into the fold, in more leadership positions. I would say companies who've been established for a while that kind of have that male dominant structure are struggling with it, that I've seen more. Talking to other HR groups within the industry and understanding what they're looking for and how to recruit women into this industry. But yeah, I haven't felt it as much as I have in the past. I would say it's changing, which is exciting. But reach out, right? Reach out to and ask for things, right? You don't get what you don't ask for. And so I think a lot of people sit back and hope that they're going to get promoted or move to the next position. But I think you definitely have to speak up and talk and reach out, right? Reach out to other individuals, not just your direct management. There are women out there in the industry that would be happy to mentor others, and I don't think it's widely shared or advertised. And so definitely it's look for context to help support and grow, and give advice, right? So
Thank you very much for joining me today, Brooke.
thank you.